Talking about keeping your eyes peeled, quickly we'll go on. Berghain. Berghain Nights author Liam Cagney. I'm actually going to buy this book, actually. I think I'm good at my wishes. I'm going to buy it later on today. It says, the Academy spat me out and I end up in Berlin. The Irish musicologist's new book explores the city's club scene through a collection of personal accounts. Look at that picture, though. This is probably before Berghain had opened, but look how what it looked like before. All this place is all blocked off and shit, but look, you could have walked straight across the front of it. Like, fucking wild, isn't it? What it used to look like prior. But let me check this out. This is courtesy of RA. Resident Advisor caught up with Liam Cagney, a musicologist and author of the new book, Berghain Nights, A Journey Through Techno and the Berlin Club Culture, to discuss early music influences. He says, what's your musical background in music and writing? He says, I grew up in rural Donegal. My dad listened to Lead Belly and read Ulysses. My older siblings were raving. I absorbed it and resolved to grow up and take LSD. When I started getting into music as a teenager, I hoovered up the NME, Melody Maker, and obsessively watched old VHS tapes of MTV's The Chill Out Zone. My bachelor's degree in Dublin was a joint major in English and music that helped cleave my head open. I became a music journalist, played in a noise band, and did a PhD on spectral music. The Academy spat me out and ended up in Berlin. Yeah, I remember that early on, my kind of, exposure to all this stuff was definitely watching documentaries. What's that major one that really got me interested in going out actually was Don't Forget to Go Home, right? That seminal one's proper old school. I probably might rewatch it again, actually. That was a really fucking good one. There's a few. There's one on Trésor. There's one on Berlin in general. There's one on dance music, rave culture. There's loads of UK rave culture ones, obviously all the movies and shit. But that sort of stuff can get you really inspired and really fucking on it. I don't what you call it, doubt that. Let's continue. When did you move to Berlin, and when did you start frequenting Berghain? How would you describe your relationship with the club? He says, my relationship with Berghain has been off and on since 2006. I feel you, man. I feel you. I've got some videos in my library, some titles of like, I'm never going back there, and then next one, I'm back there and it's the best club ever. You know, I've had the same thing, even with Fold, actually. You know I mean, love and hate relationship, mostly because of my own fucking stupid neurosis, but yeah, it's amazing. Flowers, falling out, sexy weekend breaks. One night in 2006, a group of us were brought there by a friend, stylist Jackie Taylor. The techno floor was 99% gay men and the club mostly German speaking. It felt like the last days of the Imperial Rome. I went again twice when I briefly lived in Berlin in 2010, and then when I came back in 2016, and I started going regularly and became obsessed. I realized I was going there to figure out why I was going there and exercise in circular reasoning. Later I learned that I was neurodivergent as half of the club. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Honestly, the quicker you realize everyone in there is neurodivergent or just as tapped as you are. If you think you're tapped, right? I think I'm very, very tapped. If you think you're tapped or just, maybe bordering tapped, you're on the spectrum of tapped, just accept everyone in there also is as tapped as you, if not more. It would make you be more understanding when people cut in front of you in the queue, although I don't understand that sort of shit. It will make you understand way more if the person in the panorama bar treats you like shit. It'll make it more understandable if like your Maron's playing on the main floor and someone barges you and you spill your drink all over your new fucking dress, like it'll make you understand more. It'll make you way more empathetic, as they say. It continues. When and why did you decide you wanted to write a book on Berghain? He says, I've been writing fiction for years. I was shortlisted for the White Review Short Story Prize in 2017. It gave me the confidence to write this literary book. There's an Annie Dillard quote I like that says, you were made and set here to give voice to this, your own astonishment. It felt about time someone for posterity wrote about the Berghain to bear witness to whatever it is or was. Don't people nowadays love reading accounts of the loft in 1970s Fire Island? It also felt like people rarely wrote about the music there, which is why which I was in a good position to do. Technoism as a mode of address was what I eventually arrived in at Berghain Nights, hence the book Sun Ra Epigraph. Afro grooves, Xenix weirdness. I tried to trace how it evolved and how it might mean. No, for sure, he's right. I think I think I was kind of a weird. I think most people are like that too. I was kind of a weirdo in that. I remember I used to love, they don't do them anymore as much, but I used to love reading the RA event reviews. They had some really good writers back in the day. They used to write incredibly well about, you know, raves in general, especially Berghain or Berlin raves. And I used to love that sort of shit. I used to live vicariously through them. Or this particular account from what's his fucking name? I forgot the guy's name. The guy that had a beef with fucking Peggy Goo back in the day. He wrote an incredible article for Electronic Beats, EBTV. He wrote a really good article on like Grease Mueller and the beauty of that club and that scene back in the day. And it really, if you read it, it kind of transports you to that time so fucking easily. So it's good that people are, you know, the ones who are still alive, the ones who can read and write, it's good that they're trying to put some of that stuff into word, because that scene, that early 2000s scene, man, that whole, because I missed out on some of it, but I saw some of it as well. That scene was just, you know, you can't repeat that shit. It's nice to kind of put it into writing what it was. Obviously, it's changed. It's not better or worse. It's just changed. But it'd be nice to kind of put that into writing and, you know, immortalize it in some ways. It continues. Are there any Berghain memories that stand out for you? It says, yeah, Paul citing Sid Barrett, and walking out the club in 2006. Emma and I smoking many cigarettes together in 2010. Carl Craig playing a wanky set in Panorama Bar in 2017, only to be blown away afterwards by Omar S. Corridor moaning into the microphone over 7/4 beats on a Sunday morning in 2019. Beaming glitter balls as RSG and Octa Octa played in 2020 CSD weekend. Honey Dijon the same day transforming in the main room into a giant instrument in relentlessly jacking groove. Zin's many friends in the toilet cubicles. David Lynchian Dasher Rush before the red curtain at the Howl one Sylvester. Brett sitting cross-legged before me and asking me, what do you think of Berghain? And Brett bursting out laughing and simply replying, Berghain is Berghain. A perfect Zen response. Finding myself standing beside the owner one Sunday and wondering whether I should say something and then thinking better of it and keeping my mouth shut. Yeah, exactly. I would have said something and then I would have cried about it. That's what I would have done. I would have said something that I would have cried about. He didn't say anything back. What are the top 3 sets that you've ever witnessed there? To be fair, I wish I could remember some of this stuff. That's why I like going out sober nowadays, so I can recall nights out. That's an amazing recall. I don't think I can recall those nights I went out there, unfortunately. What are the top 3 sets that you've witnessed there? My book explores other Berlin parties and clubs as well. I am suspicious of people who only go clubbing at, but to me too. Me fucking too. People that like, that's why I sometimes this is weird. It's going to be weird to say because I get in all the time. But that's why sometimes I feel a little bit sad for people who are like, who get really pissed off when they don't get in. Because it doesn't really matter if you don't get in. Like, that's one of the places like where it truly does not matter if you don't get in certain places. It's still gonna hurt, don't get me wrong, because you know you want to get into places, but it truly doesn't matter. Just go somewhere else. There's like a million other clubs open until fucking, you know, Monday. You're perfectly okay. But I think having a full itinerary of places to go to and then only ending up going to like 3 or 2 is a good plan too. I've done it playing my time myself. I've had this whole list of places I want to go to, like 79 million, and then you only end up going to a couple of them, but it's still a good plan. I don't think that's a bad thing. It continues. My book is about other clubs. It's a conversation to which I can't relate. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's Greek. It goes, Sheru played a wonderful house set at the not actually final Horse Meat Disco Berlin last year. By the way, I saw a post the other day about Horse Meat Disco New Year's Eve rave. I was wondering to myself, fucking hell, man, like, God bless Horse Meat Disco and those guys. They don't get their flowers. They don't get enough props for what they did for the scene, especially in London back in the, or just around the world in general in terms of disco and shit. They're not really the same anymore. So they don't have the same sort of punch or impact anymore, but they did a lot for the scene back in the day, bro. Big up Horse Meat Disco. Don't get your flowers, but you deserve them. Disco Dorum were always agreeably psychedelic, and I remember the fun of dancing of their set at the Cocktail de Mort. Yeah, big up Cocktail de Mort back in the day in Griesmüller. Oh, 10th birthday party at Griesmüller. Simon and myself in a grotty Lichtenberg warehouse on Sunday morning, with the sunlight pouring in, and some young DJ who wasn't on the bill decided to jump behind the decks, blasting out a gabba set with all of us party stragglers spontaneously jumping around doing silly dances. Such fun. Or if you want a Berghain one, Oscar Milera in 2022 and 2025. Oh yeah, true. Everyone talks about that 2025 set. Everyone still talks about that. It happened earlier on this year. Everyone still talks about that, to be fair. Even on the Berghain can be read it. Molten as a core, Summer Weird Planet. How do the controversy surrounding Berghain's lack of support of Palestine impacted you and how you perceive the club? He says yes. I don't think it should though, man. I think what's happened, right? But from the outside looking in, it feels like to me, Berghain's decided that they got too involved when it comes to when it comes to Slava Ukrainian shit and the whole Ukraine Russia war. Hopefully that comes to an end very soon. And it just doesn't. It's not beneficial for them to be involved in any way, shape, or form. They should be apolitical. The platform's too big. Allow anyone to come into your space if they want to protest and shit and wave a flag, whatever. If that's allowed, cool. Across the board, don't deny people the option to do so. But I don't think they should be out here advocating for either party, either side, I don't think so. I don't think that's their place. I think you as a DJ, as a person performing, or you even as a club goer, if you have your own little protest that you want to put on when you go there with a pin or whatever, cool, do it. But I don't think it should be the club's responsibility to be out here protesting on behalf of Palestine. I don't think so. I could be wrong there, but I do not think so. And I think they kind of regret doing so with Ukraine. Not because it wasn't a worthy thing to do. It just probably, once you do it with one, you have to do it with everyone else. That's the problem. He said, yes, his way of perceiving the club has been affected by lack of support for Palestine. I've been going there much less, he says. So, yeah, but that's not really protest there, is it? I've been going there, it's been perceived, you don't like that they don't support Palestine, but you go less. You're still going. It's a shitty protest. It's a shitty boycott. If you're not going to go, don't go completely, but there's no like half stepping. There's no in and out. There's no like, you know what I mean? 1 foot in, 1 foot out boycott. Either you're all in or you're all out, in my opinion. I've been going there much less, he says. I'm not sure whether you can take Berghain on its own without seeing its silence within the context of the German state's broader moral failure. On the other hand, I find it hard to be on the dance floor around Germany-based white liberals who want to keep partying and pretending that they got no moral responsibility towards the victims of the genocide. Taxpayers' income is funding. It's disgusted me. Yeah, I get it, but again, I don't know. It's just unfair. I think clubs should be apolitical across the board. I think clubs should be apolitical. If you want to go in there and protest and do your thing, show your support, cool. But I don't think it should be up to the club, no matter who's funding, who isn't. No matter what they are in the country, in the world. When you grow up in Ireland, you know a bit about colonialism. My great grandfather was murdered in front of his family in 1922. I could go on. All that said, as tempting as it is to launch into a shaming or insulting people for having the wrong opinion as far as political organization goes, these days I feel like trying gentle persuasion is more effective. Exactly. As Emma Debiri and many others have noted, the only way we will affect significant political change is to create coalitions across identity groups rather than doubling down on division. Exactly. You heard that, Ravens for Palestine? You heard that? Coalitions, Ravens for Palestine. Not not cancel. They don't give a fuck. Ravens for Palestine don't give a fuck. You have to rate it. What are your views on the state of Berlin club scene since 2025? In 2025, sorry. He says, I remember going to my friends to an illegal warehouse rave in Berlin in 2008, and the bouncer shaking his head as he entered and saying in English, Berlin has changed. It feels like people have always been saying that. Nonetheless, many clubs are currently in trouble. Seeing Renate, Watergate, despite Schwoz, all closed this year has been really sad, but put to the sword by gentrification. There's also a ridiculous A100 motorway project that's threatening other clubs. The motor lobby in Germany is like the gun lobby in the USA. On the other hand, new parties keep popping up in some new clubs. A lot of young ravers these days are going to Pinky Promise, for instance, a party I'd imagine most veteran Berlin clubbers have never heard of. It's also worth remembering, historically, clubs tended not to have much of a lifespan. Exactly. That's something I always kept in mind. Danstera lasted 6 years. Osgood lasted 4. I think I remember reading a book about because I was obsessed about the New York club scene, bar scene, 60s, 70s, whatever, right? CBGB's era, Studio 54's era, beyond. I remember reading about that. I remember somebody said in a book, I don't know, it might have been a Studio 54 book, that scenes last 4 years. Scenes last for 4 years. Every 4 years there's a cycle through of new people. Whether people die or whatever, scenes only last for 4 years. So you've got 4 years to get the most out of it as you can. After that, it kind of cycles through again. New people come in, new inspiration, new this, new that. Aside from that, an anecdote. one time we were in the damp basement in what's that, Riga Strasse, with a simple pair of decks, a strobe light, and around 10 people. The Karin turned to me and said in her direct German way, "You know, this is how Berlin club scene started." That stuck with me. Get off the grid, support smaller parties, smaller clubs, grassroots events, Berlin nights and journeys. There, I'm definitely fucking buying this. It's available in the US from December 1st. The title is called Berlin Nights: A Journey Through Techno and Berlin Club Culture. Big up him. But I'm definitely gonna buy it. One thing I also realized, actually, over the years, that's definitely changed. Maybe it's a good thing because I don't know, because I guess they're happening and I'm just not aware of it. But I feel like there's not a lot of warehouse raves anymore over there. I feel like when I used to go over there for the weekend, there's always be a warehouse rave you could kind of go to. Nowadays, I don't really feel like there's warehouse raves anymore in Berlin. I could be wrong here. There's still forest raves. I saw the forest raves pop up from time to time, but I don't really see warehouse raves like the back in the day where it would be like in an actual warehouse, like an abandoned place. Somebody pops up speakers. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see that too tough. I could be wrong. I could be fucking wrong. I want to actually check out what's this party he mentioned called Pinky Promise. What's this? Pinky Promise Berlin. Let's see. What's this about? He said there's a new party called Pinky Promise. Let's see what this is about. They've already got 25,000 followers already, so it's probably not that. Okay, it's definitely popular already. It's already got 25,000 followers. When's the next party? On the 18th. And I guess this is more of a kink rave. So I'm not going to scroll because I think I'm probably going to see some nipples. But I think this is probably a kink party for sure. It's definitely more of a kinky party. But they've got one happening on the 18th. Pinky Promise at Club Ost on the 18th. So big up Pinky Promise. What's it? What they say? Calling all divas and degenerates. Our groove goddess has summoned you to the most scandalous soiree, dripping in shabby decadence and shimmering sequins. Abandon your reality, get lost in a disco fever dream for the divine and the debaucherous as you are. Prepare for the night of drenched in glitter soaked hedonism. Whether you're strut in solo or draped in lovers or wrapped in bows and beauty, or disco royale is your sanctuary. Okay, love to hear it. Workshop, there's got workshop, pelvis nose, storytelling for intimacy, touch, tension and trance. So yeah. Dress code, you may only enter our pilots if you are in costume. We operate a strict policy within, which is no effort, no entry. Yeah, I like that. And that is obviously self-selects too. If you don't make entry effort, you don't get in. So it definitely self-selects. So big up Pinky Promise. The one that I like the most is fucking Multisex. That's my fucking favorite. I need to go there still. I have not fucking been there still till this fucking day. But Multisex might be my favorite of the new Berlin club nights popping up at the moment. One on the 24th during ADE that's happening, which I'm going to miss unfortunately. But they do quite a few raves and stuff on as well. And obviously they've got really cool art direction as well, which I also don't mind in the slightest. But big up that guy in his book. Definitely going to try and buy that. I'm definitely going to try and buy that. Definitely 100% will be trying to buy that actually. Let me see if I... Is there more? What's the guy's name again? I forgot. I think I mentioned it already, didn't I? I think I did already mention it. What's his name again? His name is Liam Cagney. So big up Liam Cagney.